Situated in the heart of the Pacific Ocean, some 2,000 miles from the nearest major landmass, lies one of the most isolated chains of islands in the world. Discovered by Captain Cook in 1779, they were named the Sandwich Isles after John Montagu, 4th Earl of Sandwich. But Cook was soon to find that he and his crew were not the first humans to set foot on those shores, and on February the 14th, 1779, confronted by warriors bearing spears and arrows, he met an untimely death in Kealakekua Bay. It was the ancient Polynesians who, many hundreds of years before, had navigated the 2,400-mile ocean crossing by double-hulled canoe. Having made this remarkable journey, they settled on these distant tropical islands, and a fascinating and vibrant culture developed. Many facets of this culture are still alive today on the islands we now know as Hawaii. A mere mention of Hawaii and one immediately thinks of scenes of idyllic tropical islands. Thousands of visitors a year flock to the Hawaiian Islands as a holiday location to enjoy the beaches, the surf and the tropical climate. Yet the Hawaiian Islands have far more to offer than beaches alone. Their isolation has given rise to a unique and varied flora and fauna. Arid deserts and desolate volcanic landscapes contrast beautifully with tropical rainforests and lush vegetation, brimming with exotic birds and vibrant colour. For many visitors, the most fascinating of all attractions is the big island of Hawaii, home to one of the most active volcanoes in the world, and to the Hawaiian goddess of fire, Pele. The Hawaiian Islands formed over the mid-Pacific Ocean volcanic hotspot. Magma from far below the plate finds weaknesses in the Earth's crust and works its way to the surface, giving rise to often spectacular volcanic eruptions. These frequent and magnificent eruptions provide a regular treat for lava-hungry onlookers, an important place of study for the scientific community and a continual threat for local residences. As the Pacific continental plate drifts northwest at a rate of about 4 inches per year, the location of the volcanic hotspot gradually moves relative to the Earth's surface, shifting the magma supply for the eruptive area. Eventually, the continental plate drifts sufficiently for the magma supply for one vent to be cut off, and the volcano becomes dormant. As new weaknesses are found around the hotspot, magma rises through the Earth's crust, and new volcanoes and islands are born. Kauai and Niihau are the northernmost of the Hawaiian Islands, and are thus the oldest of the chain. Reducing in age are Oahu, Molokai and Maui. The Big Island of Hawaii is the largest and the youngest of them all, and is the only one on which a truly active volcano still exists. The Hawaiian Islands have a very special culture of traditional Hawaiian, steeped in mythology, that has become mixed with the strong influences of the Western world. Through numerous tales of the gods and their quests, the ancient Hawaiians explained the landscape around them. They clearly appreciated the importance of the volcano, even if they didn't fully understand the mechanics behind it. Hawaiian legend, still very much alive today, speaks frequently of Pele. Madame Pele, the goddess of fire, is said to reside in Halemaumau, the massive crater within the even more immense Kilauea caldera. Today, Kilauea is still very much active, and, apart from a few brief moments of respite, has been erupting continuously since 1983. The residents around the volcano live in a curious balance. The volcano is loved, Pele is respected, the VOG is hated, the tourist trade is essential, and the devastation an inevitable fact of life on a volcano. On the night of March the 19th, 2008, scientists at the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory recorded a moderate-sized earthquake. As daylight dawned, it became apparent that a new vent had opened up in the Halemaumau crater. Emitting small amounts of tephra, the occasional explosion, and a considerable volume of volcanic gas, the new vent glowed brightly in the evening light. Pele was clearly still in residence. For the speleologist, Hawaii's volcanoes give rise to another fascinating feature, a significant and intricate network of many miles of lava tubes. The tubes differ significantly from the limestone cave familiar to the average caver, but still hold great interest and variety. Perhaps the most visited of all of the lava caves is the Thurston lava tube, conveniently located within the volcano's national park. Open to the public and fully illuminated, thousands of visitors every year make the self-guided journey through the lava tube. Stripped of its formations and with its tourist-friendly access and sodium lighting, it could be argued that Thurston is not the most inspiring of places for the seasoned caver. Yet it provides a fascinating experience for visitors to the park and demonstrates some key features of the lava tube systems to the more serious explorer. As we take the short walk through the main section of the Thurston lava tube, we can start to picture how the lava tube was created. Most cavers are familiar with the way in which the cave systems they explore have formed. Water from rain or streams finds weaknesses within limestone landscapes and starts to erode the rock. The softer stone is eroded first and weaker bedding planes are washed out, enlarging the cave system. As the cave passages develop, a complex hydrology can evolve, with underground streams and flooded passages. In time, the subterranean streams find new routes through the limestone, leaving behind them dry, fossil passages. As a cave system matures over a period of many thousands of years, passages large enough to be explored may eventually be created. It is these caverns that are the familiar territory of the modern-day caver. The mechanism by which lava tubes are formed is rather different, and over a somewhat shorter geological timescale. As lava flows from an eruptive vent, the outer edges of the flow are cooled as they come into contact with the surrounding ground and with the air. As the edge of the flow cools, it becomes more viscous and eventually solidifies, forming a channel in which the main lava flow continues to run. The upper edges of the channel continue to crust and solidify until the flow is eventually encased by a thin, solid layer of lava. The lava is now flowing in a tube. The set lava acts as a superb insulator, and so the molten lava flowing within the tube remains hot and fluid, sometimes flowing for many miles. In 2008, lava from the Pu'u'oro eruption was flowing in tubes for approximately 5 miles before reaching the sea, creating a spectacular display for onlookers. If the eruption stops and the supply of lava ceases, lava already in the tube will usually continue to flow and, like water in a pipe, vacates the tube, leaving it empty. The tubes created vary in size, from small microtubes from very localized flows to major conduits of considerable length and stature. As we continue our walk through the Thurston lava tube, illuminated by the orange glow of sodium lamps, it is fascinating to imagine that this cave was once host to a river of molten lava. After a few minutes, a skylight is reached, an area where the roof of the lava tube has collapsed and the tube is open to daylight. Many visitors choose to exit Thurston here, but those equipped with a flashlight, or better still, a caving light, can explore the tube beyond the skylight. Venturing further into the tube, one starts to get a hint of what some of the more unspoilt lava caves have to offer. The first thing we notice is how, compared to limestone caves, the near-black lava walls seem to absorb the light from even the most powerful of caving lamps. In places, the floor is scattered with boulders. Roof collapses are an inevitable result of the frequent earthquakes experienced in the area. The continuation of the tube increases in size slightly, becoming remarkably roomy and resembling some of the larger phreatic passages found in limestone caves. High up and out of reach of the casual visitor are a few tiny lava stalactites, black in colour and reminiscent of the straws and helictites found in regular limestone caves. A few more minutes easy caving and the Thurston lava tube ends abruptly, with the roof lowering to meet the floor. The patterns in the floor show clearly where a river of Hawai'i lava once flowed, with ripples in the floor indicating the direction of the flow. We retrace our steps through the dark caverns to regain the skylight. Climbing a few steps, we emerge amongst tree ferns, ginger plants and ohia trees in the lush Hawaiian rainforest. By making a brief visit to the Kilauea Visitor Centre, it is possible to book on a guided tour of Pu'upo'o, the Wild Cave.
I think you're going to see a lot from either one. And if you've never been here before, it makes it more difficult.
Situated deep in the rainforest, the location of Pu'upo'o is a closely guarded secret. Visitors are politely requested not to divulge its whereabouts. On entering the lava cave, it soon becomes apparent why the national park authorities are so protective of this treasure. The lava tube comprises a small network of passages, comparable in size to Thurston Lava Tube. But whereas Thurston has been stripped of its formations, Pu'upo'o is adorned with a splendid array of lava stalactites and stalagmites. The formation of these lava stalagmites and stalactites differs considerably from that of the calcite speleothems we see in limestone caves. The calcite speleothems, familiar to many cavers, are formed in general by deposition. Rain, made mildly acidic by dissolved carbon dioxide, dissolves the limestone through which it seeps. As this calcite-rich water emerges in the underground passages and chambers, the calcite is deposited, creating beautiful and varied formations. The rate of growth of these wonderful formations depends on many factors, such as the acidity of the water, the nature of the limestone, and the rate of water flow. In general though, deposition is extremely slow, and it can take hundreds, even thousands of years for formations such as these to grow. The lava tube formations in Pu'upo'o, on the other hand, probably formed within the space of just a few hours. Much in the same way that a principal watercourse within a limestone cave can carry a regular stream, the main lava tube conduits are often hosts to flows from successive eruptions. As red-hot lava passes through an existing lava tube, the heat within the tube becomes intense, sometimes so much so that the roof of the lava tube starts to melt. As the lava tube roof melts, it drips like hot wax from a candle. It is this remelting of the lava tube roof that gives rise to the formations we see. Many of Hawaii's lava tubes are located on private land, and the clear and public access agreements, such as those enjoyed in the UK and Europe, are less common. Other cave systems on state or national park land are accessible to cavers and scientists only after the relevant permit has been acquired. But just off Highway 11, close to Volcano Village, lies a lava tube that is readily accessible to responsible cavers. A short scramble through dense ginger plants and false staghorn ferns, aided by ad hoc waymarkers, brings us to another skylight and the entrance to a seemingly unnamed lava tube some 1.5 miles in length. The short drop into the skylight is slightly awkward, requiring the use of whatever assistance comes to hand. On clambering down the boulder slopes and through the long roots of Hawai'i trees, one is greeted with a lava cave of grand proportions and exceptional beauty. Along the sides of the tube are shelves of lava in a surprising range of colours, remnants of successive flows of molten lava through the tube. Lava stalactites of many weird and wonderful shapes adorn the cave roof, and on the lava benching, golden coloured stalagmites have formed. A short distance into the tube, we encounter a jumble of fallen blocks and another skylight. At first, this looks like the end of the passage, but by carefully traversing around the fallen blocks, we gain a further mile of passage, even more beautiful than the first section. Here, the intricate formations and the lava tube walls have been coloured by later deposition of a surprising range of minerals. Iron oxides, copper compounds, magnetite, hematite and calcium are amongst the broad spectrum of mineral deposits that provide a variety of colour seldom seen in limestone caverns, and an absolute feast for the cave photographer. These fantastic and unusual formations are a particularly fragile part of the cave environment. Whereas the speleothems found in limestone caves continue to grow for as long as they have a supply of calcite-rich water, lava formations can grow only when molten lava is flowing through the tube. These intricate lava stalactites and stalagmites may grow within the space of just a few hours, but once the lava supply has abandoned the tube, the temperature cools and they are frozen in time forever. We carefully pick our way through the lava tube until it starts to close down to an uncomfortable crawl, before retracing our steps and eventually scrambling back through the impressive roots of Hawai'i trees and emerging back at the original skylight. Exiting the skylight is, thankfully, slightly more graceful than the descent.
That's it. Pull yourself up.
The sites we have visited in this film so far are but a brief introduction to the lava caves of Hawaii. For the caving world, the big island of Hawaii features some prominent lava tubes. A short distance from Hilo lies Kaimana Cave, a 2-mile-long tube surrounded by lush vegetation. Further up the so-called saddle road that spans the big island is Emerson Cave, 1 mile in length and reportedly very well preserved. In the Ka'u Desert lies the Kipuka Kanahina Cave Complex. Towards the southern end of the complex are the Kulakai Caverns. A short section of the caverns is open to the public as a lit show cave, and some of the further reaches are accessible as a guided adventure caving trip. Recent discoveries have extended the cave complex to some 24 miles in length, with a vertical range of over 600 feet. As well as its size, the Kepuka Kanahina Cave Complex is particularly noted for its archaeological remains and evidence of previous human habitation. Situated near Glenwood in the south of the island is the largest of them all. Relatively recent exploration has linked together a number of smaller tubes to make the Kazumura Cave the longest known lava tube in the world at over 40 miles in length. Between them, these lava caves make for an impressive tally for an island that is just 95 miles from tip to toe. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Hawaii's speleological potential has not been missed by the caving world, and regular expeditions are made to extend, explore and survey the cave systems. Wandering across Hawaii's immense lava fields, we see evidence of lava tubes all around us. Whilst many of the cavities are little more than lava bubbles, there is a plentiful supply of caves that are large enough to be explored, some of which are a surprisingly short distance below the surface. The Hawaiian Speleological Survey maintains records of many charted lava caves on the island, and currently lists over 1,000 sites of speleological interest. With known systems of over 40 miles in length, the potential for new discovery is always there. Cavers are always interested in the potential to explore new caverns, but the lava tubes of Hawaii and other active volcanic areas present another rather unique opportunity. With new lava tubes being created by the still active volcano, there is the potential for cavers to explore caverns that are younger than they are.